day was a blur of silk and stolen glances, the air thick with the scent of lilies and the quiet hum of betrayal. I stood at the microphone, clutching a glass of champagne, my heart pounding a rhythm of vengeance, not joy. Reese, my fiancé, beaming beside me, had just finished his speech at our lavish engagement party, a week before our wedding, an event designed to celebrate us, but which I had repurposed for his undoing. It raised his glass, his eyes sweeping the opulent ballroom, filled with our closest friends, family, and his carefully cultivated network of investors. Quinn has always been a little naive, bless her heart, he chuckled, his charming smile not quite reaching his eyes. She trusts too easily. Luckily, I'm here to handle the real business decisions for us, to ensure our future is secure. Someone has to be the realist, right? Subtle jab, the condescending smirk, was meant to diminish me, to make me seem a foolish romantic who needed his steady hand. But his words, meant to publicly declare his superiority, were the very fuel that would consume him. I smiled, a serene, almost detached expression, as I reached for the microphone he was still holding. He had no idea the trap was already sprung, the jaws closing even then. Reese and I had met 4 years ago at a charity gala, both volunteering for an environmental cause. He was effortlessly charming, eloquent, with an undeniable passion that mirrored my own. I was drawn to his vibrant energy, his grand vision for the world. Our early days were filled with long conversations about sustainability, late-night walks under city lights, and a shared belief that we could make a difference together. I remember our first anniversary picnic, watching the sunset paint the sky in fiery hues over the ocean cliffs, feeling an absolute certainty that I had found my person. He'd leaned over, whispering promises of a future built on shared dreams. We embarked on a whirlwind European backpacking trip, rescued a scruffy terrier mix named Atlas from a local shelter, and started planning a co-op living project, a testament to our shared ideals. I poured my life savings, nearly $80,000, into what I believed was his nonprofit startup, a venture designed to fund eco-friendly community projects. I supported him through his tough times, believing in his vision, helping him network with my connections, giving him everything I had. I trusted him implicitly, thinking he was different, a man of integrity. He had access to all my accounts, all my dreams. The first hint of trouble was subtle. He started forgetting small things, important dates, claiming he was overwhelmed with the startup's demands. I'd excuse it, thinking he was simply under pressure, working tirelessly for our future. His excuses, often laced with gaslighting phrases like "you're just imagining things," "darling, I'm working myself to the bone for our future," became a low, persistent hum in the background of our lives. The pattern of disrespect began to emerge more frequently. At a casual dinner party with mutual friends, I remember sharing an innovative idea for community composting, only for Reese to wave it off with a dismissive joke about my head in the clouds, making everyone laugh at my expense. I forced a smile, letting it go. A few weeks later, at our favorite Italian restaurant, during a double date with Liam and Maya, Reese openly flirted with our waitress, a young woman named Chloe, ignoring my presence at the table. I felt a cold dread begin to coil in my stomach, but I swallowed it down, unwilling to make a scene. Then the clear boundary was crossed. On our 3-year anniversary, he forgot our dinner, claiming an urgent business meeting. Later, I saw his car parked outside the Copper Kettle, a bar I knew he frequented, but certainly not for client pitches. He spun a convincing tale about a last-minute, high-stakes negotiation that ran late. Liam and Maya, our friends, exchanged worried glances whenever Reese pulled these stunts, but no one ever said anything directly to me. The true depth of his deception came tumbling out one Tuesday afternoon. I was using our shared tablet, intending to look up a recipe, when a notification popped up for Sasha. It was from a dating app. My stomach clenched. Then a text from our shared bank, alerting me to an unusual transaction. $15,000 transferred from our joint savings account to an unknown recipient. My heart hammered. I saw red but forced myself to remain calm. Later that evening, I accidentally overheard Reese on a hushed phone call, whispering, "I love you, Sasha." The pieces clicked into place with a sickening thud. The dating app profile, the suspicious transaction, the hushed "I love yous." My world shattered, not into pieces but into a stark, terrifying clarity. My first instinct was to confront him, but a deeper, colder part of me took over. I chose to investigate. The emotional pain quickly solidified into an iron resolve. The investigation began. First week, I meticulously reviewed our joint bank accounts, discovering multiple large transfers, totaling nearly $50,000 to Sasha's account and another, separate business account Reese had opened without my knowledge. The second week, I subtly monitored Reese's phone and computer usage, accessing cloud backups and shared accounts. I found emails detailing a romantic getaway to Chilum, disguised as a business trip he had taken a month prior. The third week, I connected with Elias Thorne, a private investigator recommended by an old friend. Elias was an ex-cop, gruff but ethical, and he quickly installed a GPS tracker on Reese's custom-built Tesla. My cousin, Clara Vance, a sharp forensic accountant, became an unexpected ally. She helped me unravel the complex financial trail, exposing shell companies and hidden assets. Worst discovery came from Elia's surveillance. Sasha wasn't just an affair partner, she was an accomplice. They were systematically siphoning funds from our shared investment, using my reputation to secure initial funding, planning to liquidate my investment portfolio the day after our wedding and disappear to Costa Rica, leaving me with nothing but debt and a broken heart. I created a secure cloud drive and physical folders, meticulously documenting every single piece of evidence. The ultimate public humiliation, the final straw, wasn't the wedding itself, but the pre-wedding family Thanksgiving dinner just weeks before our planned nuptials. Both our families and many mutual friends were gathered. During a lull in conversation, Reese raised his glass, clinking it triumphantly. He looked directly at me, a condescending smirk playing on his lips. Quinn has always been a little naive, bless her heart. She trusts too easily. Luckily, I'm here to handle the real business decisions for us, to ensure our future is secure. Someone has to be the realist, right? The comment, intended to publicly declare his control and my foolishness, hung in the uncomfortable silence, punctuated by a few forced laughs. My mother looked pained, her eyes meeting mine with unspoken sympathy. But I remained outwardly calm, my smile serene, as a silent, iron door slammed shut in my mind. Humiliation burned, but it forged my resolve into a weapon. His fatal mistake came later that evening. Reese left his laptop open in the study while taking a private call. I saw an email draft to Sasha, detailing their plan to liquidate my investment portfolio, a legacy from my grandmother, the day after our wedding and leave the country. That's when I realized he didn't just want to betray me, he wanted to destroy me. He saw me as a resource, not a partner, and he intended to bleed me dry. My plan shifted into high gear. I conducted one last test, asking Reese to co-sign a new business loan for my own independent venture. He smoothly declined, citing financial strain on their joint future. His refusal sealed his fate. I smiled, said I understood, and then began secretly moving my most valuable inherited assets into a blind trust, making it seem like I was merely consolidating for our future. The legal team was formidable. Zara Albright, a renowned attorney known for her sharp mind and no-nonsense approach in complex financial fraud cases, was my lead. Elias, the pie, continued his surveillance, and Clara, my cousin and forensic accountant, was indispensable. Zara, Elias, and Clara charged a combined $35,000 for their services, every penny a strategic investment. The plan took 8 weeks of intensive, covert preparation. The evidence piled up, security camera footage from our condo building lobby, showing Reese and Sasha entering and exiting late at night on 17 specific occasions. 89 text messages between Reese and Sasha, detailing their affair, their financial scheme, and shockingly cruel remarks about me. 3 years of joint and individual bank statements, meticulously cross-referenced by Clara, revealing $120,000 transferred to Sasha's accounts or Reese's hidden business account. Witness testimony from Mr. Maxwell, a former business partner of Reese's who had been similarly defrauded years prior, and Chloe, the waitress Reese had flirted with, who later recalled seeing him with Sasha at another restaurant. Of audio recordings from a voice-activated recorder I hid, capturing Reese's conversations with Sasha, planning their exit and mocking my naivety. Over 50 emails detailing their travel plans, false documents, and the imminent liquidation of my investment assets. 23 photos from Sasha's private Instagram account, showcasing Reese on those business trips I thought he was taking alone. I obtained the security footage through a discreet request to the condo board, claiming a package theft. Text messages were retrieved from Reese's phone, which was synced to our shared cloud. Bank statements were accessed via my own legitimate accounts. The audio was captured by a tiny recorder I'd purchased online. The emails were recovered from his laptop when he carelessly left it open. There were close calls. Reese almost caught me accessing his emails once, but I quickly feigned looking for a recipe. Another time, the recorder nearly fell out, but I kicked it under the couch just in time. Simultaneously, I built a financial fortress. I opened new, individual accounts at Chase and Wells Fargo. I systematically moved my remaining personal savings, my inherited investment portfolio of nearly $300,000, and my emergency fund into these protected accounts. My grandmother's antique emerald necklace and a rare first-edition book collection were transferred to a safe deposit box. I removed Reese from all joint credit cards, froze lines of credit, and changed beneficiaries on all my personal policies. Every single online password was updated. I redirected all my bill payments to my new solo accounts. As a final touch, I left a seemingly healthy but depleting joint savings account with just enough funds for Reese to think he was still in control, allowing him to continue his transfers for a few more weeks without raising alarm. Zara prepared a robust legal arsenal, a lawsuit for fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, and emotional distress. She filed a temporary restraining order request and an asset freeze order for Reese's hidden accounts. The case was filed in a district court known for swift handling of financial fraud. Zara cited several recent rulings on financial exploitation in cohabiting relationships that favored the deceived party, and discovered an obscure state law concerning misappropriation of premarital assets that allowed me to reclaim specific investments Reese had made using my funds. She even prepared a plan to notify the IRS if he tried to hide assets, and a press release strategy if he tried to weaponize public opinion. The timing of the takedown was calculated for maximum impact. Our engagement party, precisely 1 week before the wedding. It was a grand affair in a rented ballroom, packed with all our friends, family, and Reese's potential investors. That morning, I dressed meticulously in a stunning sapphire gown, my demeanor serene and poised. I double-checked the hidden microphone discreetly clipped to my dress. Zara texted confirmation that the asset freeze orders were live. Before walking into the ballroom, I took a deep, steadying breath, picturing Reese's condescending smirk from Thanksgiving. My heart beat a steady drum. Reese, completely unaware, was working the room, charming guests, basking in the attention, clinking champagne glasses. As Reese finished his impromptu speech, I walked calmly to his side, took the microphone from his hand, and smiled. "Thank you, Reese," I said, my voice clear and steady. "Before we celebrate our future, let's clarify our present." He chuckled, a flicker of confusion in his eyes, "Always the dramatic one, darling." Behind him, on the large screen usually reserved for a photo montage, I projected a screenshot of his Chelum travel itinerary, Sasha's name prominently displayed. His smile faltered, replaced by a bead of sweat tracing his temple. "That's a misunderstanding, a joke," he stammered, his voice losing its confident edge. "Sasha is a business associate, a clerical error." I held his gaze. "Indeed. Perhaps your business associate can explain these 89 text messages," I said, as a scrolling transcript of his explicit messages to Sasha, detailing their affair, their financial scheme, and plans to empty our joint accounts and escape to Costa Rica, began to play across the screen. Then came the second wave. I pressed a button, and Reese's voice filled the ballroom, clear as day, discussing with Sasha how to liquidate my investment portfolio after the wedding and how I was too trusting, too easy to fool. Lunged for the microphone, then the projector, his face contorted in a terrifying mix of rage and fear. "This is insane. A setup. You're sick, Quinn," he yelled, his voice cracking. He tried to bargain, to threaten. "You'll get nothing. I'll ruin you. No one will believe this crazy act." I met his desperation with chilling calm. "On the contrary, Reese. My attorney, Zara Albright, has already filed a lawsuit for fraud, misappropriation of assets, and emotional distress. All your accounts are frozen. Police are waiting outside with an arrest warrant for financial fraud. Sasha is already in custody." As if on cue, Mr. Maxwell, Reese's former defrauded partner, stepped forward, confirming Reese's pattern of deceit. Then 2 police officers led a handcuffed Sasha, wide-eyed and terrified, through the stunned ballroom. Reese's jaw went slack. The fight left him entirely. He looked around at the horrified faces, the cameras flashing, completely trapped. "Quinn, please, we can fix this. Just talk to me," he pleaded, his voice a pathetic whisper. I met his gaze one last time, my eyes cold and unwavering. "My talking days are over, Reese. Now we proceed with legal discovery." In the 24 hours that followed, the engagement party became a media frenzy. Reese was taken into custody on the spot. His family issued a frantic statement denying everything, but Zara swiftly released the full, undeniable dossier of evidence to the press. Mutual friends were horrified, many reaching out to me, while my family, though heartbroken, rallied fiercely around me. The footage of Reese's public meltdown and Sasha being led away went viral. He gave a tearful, rambling interview from jail, claiming I was mentally unstable and framing him. I, however, maintained a strategic silence, releasing a single, dignified statement through Zara, letting the undeniable evidence speak for itself. My surprise, Mr. Maxwell, Reese's former defrauded partner, held his own press conference, detailing his similar experience with Reese, lending massive credibility to my case. 3 months later, the trial was swift, due to the overwhelming evidence. Clara's meticulous forensic accounting report, Elias' detailed surveillance logs, and the explicit audio recording sealed Reese's fate. The judge was visibly disgusted by his calculated manipulation. Reese was found guilty of multiple counts of financial fraud and grand larceny, receiving a 7-year prison sentence in a federal facility. I was awarded $450,000 in damages, covering my original investments, lost earnings, and emotional distress. A permanent restraining order was issued. Sasha, Reese's accomplice, received a lighter sentence after cooperating, but still served 2 years. His appeal was swiftly denied. All my assets were protected, and I reclaimed significantly more than I had lost. Zara's final bill, a substantial $80,000, was worth every single penny. Reese is now serving his sentence in a medium-security federal prison, a stark contrast to the luxury condo we once shared. He's a prison laborer, earning pennies an hour. His parents disowned him after the extent of his deceit and Sasha's testimony became public. Most mutual friends cut ties. Sasha vanished after her release. He's bankrupt, facing crushing restitution payments, with all his assets seized. His name became synonymous with scam artist in our community. The man who used to charm investors with grandiose plans now plans his next meal in a cafeteria. The custom-built Tesla he always boasted about was repossessed and sold. I, on the other hand, moved into a beautiful, smaller brownstone I bought entirely on my own, decorated exactly to my taste. I launched my own successful ethical investment consulting firm, using my experience to help others avoid similar pitfalls. Financially secure and fiercely independent, I found contentment single, focusing on my business and close friendships. I now travel extensively, something Reese always deemed too expensive and distracting from our business, and I volunteer at a dog shelter, a passion he had once feigned. The experience, while painful, forged a profound sense of self-reliance and strength within me. Clara and Elias became lifelong friends, celebrating every step of my new life. I learned to trust my instincts, and that true strength comes from within, not from relying on someone else's charade. I recently saw a news report about Reese being transferred to a harsher facility after an attempted escape, the article mentioning his delusional grandiosity. The man who called me naive, who insisted he handled the real business for our secure future, was now a convicted felon, confined and stripped of all agency. I simply closed the browser, the digital paper trail of his downfall a silent testament to his folly. Then I picked up my keys, heading out to my own, self-earned, financially secure future, free and whole.